Hi, Fashion Dolls. Happy Transformation Tuesday, February 18th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. This makes show 749. We are on the road to 800 shows, y'all. And I'm super excited about my beautiful, very special guest today. Joining me today, we have an all female band, and it's five of them. Five. So please join me as we welcome to the dollhouse Pamela, Gina, Sandy, Shannon, and Wendy, also known as the Lake Sirens, here to the dollhouse Fashion Dolls. I hope you all are doing wonderful and excellent as I am. And without further ado, let's welcome the beautiful ladies of the Lake Sirens. Hi, Chrissy. Hi, everyone. Hi, Fashion Dolls. Okay. I just accepted the request. Let me see. Hi, hi, Raya. Hi, welcome to the Dollhouse Fashion Dolls. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I am trying to add my beautiful, very special guest. Let me see. Let's try this and see if it'll work. I think it's probably because we're clicking at the same time, ladies. Hopefully, I should be able to see them soon. Give it a minute. I think we're having some tech issues. Ladies, go out and come back in. Hi, Mick. Because I think we're trying to add each other at the same time. Welcome, everyone. Let me see. Let me try now. I think it's because we're trying to add each other at the same time. If not, then I will start a new live and then come back and see if that. Wait a minute. There we are.
We did it, Stevie. We did it.
Stevie, we did it.
Yes. Hi, ladies. Welcome to the
Huh?
dog. Such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. There's only three of us today. We're so sorry for that.
It is fine.
Stevie,
And
this is
all
Wendy. I'm Shannon. And this is Sharon.
Hello, Stevie.
And
well,
we're missing Gina and Sandy, our beloved other two sirens.
Yes.
yes, because it is five of you. When I introduced you before you ladies came on, I said it was going. I was expecting to see all five, but you're still fabulous.
Thank you.
And one of my audience members, shout outs to Black Boy George, says, "OMG, y'all look so amazing. Thank you, baby."
Woohoo!
So before we kick off this interview, ladies, how has 2025 been for you so far?
It's been garbage. Stevie, we live in Los Angeles. So there was a horrible month of horrifying, unbelievable fires that just are devastating, absolutely devastating. And then February we had earthquakes, and it's just been a garbage set of days. But we are looking forward with optimism and joy.
Trying.
Yes.
And that you are, and I must commend you ladies also too about spreading girl power, because when I see five women all together, different walks of life, five different styles, I think of the Spice Girls. I think of so many other girl groups, and then the Lake Sirens as well too. And then I love you guys' David Bowie song because I am a big David Bowie fan. Um, you've done so much in your career, but I'd love to start from the beginning. Ladies, tell us how the group was formed.
Well, we formed because we all live in a little community together around a little lake in the mountains, in the Santa Monica Mountains, and we were all friends. And I'm a professional singer. That's how I make my living. And my friends would ask me to get up and sing with these bands that would play at these lake parties. And one day I was like, "Come on, come up with me, sing background," and then it just caught on from there. So we started singing around the campfire with some wine and having a good time. And then we started recording because we have a recording studio. So we started recording. And then we had a big party, and Rick Springfield came and played, and we sang backup for him on Jesse's Girl. And then we said, maybe we should write our own material. So we started writing, and that is how it has become what it is today. And we played Jazz Fest last year in front of 26,000 people with Anders Osborne. We've done a lot of cool things.
Oh my goodness. And continuing on, we'll get into it. I know you ladies have some performances coming up. And shout outs to Pure Luck Salon. I see you guys coming in. And Blackboard George says, OMG, I want to come to Cali, but was scared. What's been going on? Would you ladies what would you ladies recommend? Would you ladies recommend new artists coming out to LA right now?
Oh, new artists coming out to LA. I mean, so I moved to LA from Boston 30 years ago, which gives you an idea of my age. But what I really see is a difference between some cities and other cities. LA is a place where a lot of us come to explore our creative selves,
Yes.
and it's allowable. And so no one tries to put you in the box of what you did in high school or what your dad did for a living or your mom. They allow you to explore your creative self. And I feel like it's a creative hub in that way. And I treasure that so much. Being a transplant myself who dreamt of living in LA, it has been the most worth it thing. Other than being so far from my family, it is a absolute pleasure every single day to be part of the larger Los Angeles community. I have to say it.
And
Agree.
it's a lot with being artists traveling from country to city to city. Now, some of you ladies are mothers in the group, and I know that is difficult balancing all of these things. So we talk about balance. My next question is, if each of you ladies had a superpower, what would it be and why?
A superpower. A
Wow.
superpower. Well, I think if my superpower would be just to be able to spread kindness.
Yes.
I really just want everyone to be kind. And, I was thinking about what Wendy was saying and what we've done and what we're looking at and what 2025 is going to be like. And it was such an organic formation, and thinking about kindness and thinking about just taking one step at a time and moving forward, all that positivity just made it happen.
Yeah.
It really did. So, superpower of kindness and positivity. I would love that for everyone.
And we need it. In these times, we need it.
Yeah,
So, what's the
we do.
funniest the inside joke that you ladies have shared within the group? Because I know with you ladies all together, it's a camaraderie, it's a sisterhood.
Well, I'm not sure. Some of those inside things might be a little bit too
Uh-oh.
much to put out in
I'm
public.
willing. I'm willing. Is it okay?
Yes, yes. Boston here.
So
Yes.
Wendy taught us something important, which is when we can't reach a note or we can't get good volume, we can sing from our vagina.
Yes.
We sing from
Yes.
we use all of the breath all through our entire body.
The vagina is really where it all stems from. It's where life begins. So basically, sing from there, ladies. Sing from there.
And that's what it looks like when we're doing it,
Yeah,
too.
we go like this, and we pull our feminine powers into the world.
Yes. Yes. And I'm seeing you guys' comments. You're showing so much love. Black Boy George says, thank you so much for the encouragement. He says he's from Savannah, Georgia, and he's currently in Atlanta, and he's considering taking the next steps to be in Los Angeles. And LA is so much talent booming out there. Like, it's all over the world. So what pieces of gems would you give to George as far as excelling his music career and going further?
You know what? You just kind of have to go for it. You have to like not take no for an answer and really believe in yourself and go for it. And I'm born and raised here in Los Angeles, but I had jobs and normal things to pay the bills before I was a singer. And I didn't believe in myself enough to do it. I was 28 years old when I started singing professionally, and I'm now many, 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 many years into that career. It has been such a successful, amazingly fulfilling experience. Even though I'm behind the scenes, sometimes I am out in front when you sing professionally on the Oscars or Jimmy Kimmel or The Voice or American Idol or whatever it is. Even as a professional singer, in the background behind an artist, you still have to show up, believe in yourself, know your stuff. Be prepared, be on time, be reliable, be easy to work with. And there's all kinds of facets to doing music that even if the artist thing doesn't take off and you're not, Sabrina Carpenter or you're not Adele or Harry Styles, there's so many ways to find roads of making a living at it, making a good living at it, in film and television, in music production, on Broadway. I mean, there's just so many avenues. And it's kind of an endless open road, and you just have to believe in yourself more than anything. Because I see so many incredibly talented people that don't have the self-belief, and it unfortunately just nosedives. And then I see people that aren't as talented, and not saying anybody's name, but aren't as talented, but have all the confidence and self-belief in the world, and they just...
I saw Lulu. Hi, Lulu. And also I have something from the casting director. Sandy Alessi is not with us today, but she's one of the sirens and she's casting director.
Mhm.
And she just said on one of her little snippets on her own channel, don't be drunk.
Don't be drunk. Oh my God.
Don't show up to auditions drunk.
I've seen
That was good advice.
Yeah.
I've seen that
Be
happen.
someone they trust to get the job and behave well on set and not embarrass them.
Yeah.
Be that person.
Absolutely. And punctuality is key. And that's why I made it my business to make sure that I got you ladies on. We had some difficulties at first, got on time, and we're women, so I understand it takes us time to get ready. Whereas if we were guys have to worry about putting on a t-shirt and jeans. And I'm just like, no, you have to be on point for every single thing. Because if you're a woman in this business, they will hold it against you. There's a strike. She showed up late. She didn't do all of these things.
Yeah.
And speaking of Jimmy Kimmel, Wendy, I've seen you ladies together. I'm a fashion girl, so I love fashion. I'm always changing my looks. I've seen you ladies together with Bessie Johnson, who was one of my favorite fashion designers ever. What was it like meeting her and seeing all of this girl power together? What was it like meeting Bessie Johnson?
I didn't meet her. Shannon did.
Mhm.
Shannon and Gina, who's missing, they met her. So Shannon will tell you that story.
So Betsy Johnson is an incredible force, right? And she's totally recognizable. I mean, you cannot miss her because she's so stylish. She looks like herself when you see her in the wild, which is so great. So maybe she lives nearby or she was at a local restaurant and Gina's very brave and personable. So Gina played her our song and then said, what do you think? And she said, I love it. And she said, let me play you our other song. And then she played her all our songs. And then Betsy Johnson said, I'm a fan. And Gina said, will you say that on this video? And so she was the most giving, generous, kind, loving, like back to Sharon's point about kindness. That just must have perpetuated for her whole life where people were just dying to work with her because she was so kind and generous and so friendly and loving, and she just obviously loves her fellow humans.
And she is. She's so personable. If not her, then Patricia Fields. And these women that I'm naming, they're so gutsy as it pertains to fashion, as it pertains to standing up for women, as it pertains to creativity. So when I seen the video of you ladies pictured together, the video of you all together, I was just like, yes, this is a moment I can live for. That and speaking of moments, who is the wild child of the group and who is the mom of the group?
Oh boy. Wild child.
Everybody, I would say that everybody has a wildness to them for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm always blown away with these girls. I just like, but Gina is kind of our punker.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a badass.
Yeah.
She really is alternative. She just loves to show up. Beautiful, 6'1", gorgeous woman who just rocks her stuff.
Yeah.
And isn't shy. and she really has a lot of confidence, and she is really kind of the wild one.
Yeah.
So
I'd say it's between her and Sandy.
yeah.
Yes. Sandy can definitely be
our
like,
brunettes.
Yeah.
Sandy is brave beyond brave.
She's
Sandy
a
can
rule
get us in
breaker.
any door.
Yeah, rule breaker.
Anywhere you want to go, Sandy can get you in there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the rules are because they change when
Because
she
she's
wants.
so charming and gorgeous and fabulous.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to want to say yes to her.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we have we all have a moment where someone gets you something out of their purse that you're like, oh my God, thanks.
Yeah.
And often that is Sharon.
Sharon.
I don't want to put you in a mom box, but
Sharon
you do have a
definitely.
lot of amazing, thoughtful, considerate moments where you're like, oh, I have just the thing for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mary
recently,
Poppins.
when we were having some of the other fires, we were very close, within a few miles, and all our power was out for days, and it was one of those things. And Sharon's house had power, and she opened her house to me, and I stayed in one of her rooms, and I felt like I was in like the most beautiful. Well, first of all, it's an incredible home, but I just felt like I was so taken care of, and I was in this little private suite in a little nest. Like nothing could go wrong because it was Sharon's house. So maybe it's Sharon.
I guess it's that nurturing side.
Yeah.
I do have 3 kids, so
yeah. Yeah. 3 kids will do it.
3 adult kids.
And that's another thing I wanted to ask. Like with motherhood, how do you find the balance? Because I realize for women, we're always on the go constantly. My mother says, okay, be prepared for it. Because my brother just had a baby with his fiance. I have a nephew and he is 11 months and he's on his way to his terrible twos.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking forward to it. Auntie is not looking forward to it. But he's already starting to get into everything. You know how kids are, they're very curious. What's this? What's this?
Yeah.
But how do you ladies find the balance with motherhood and then being on the road? Because I know even with the pandemic, it was difficult for a lot of us in 2020 to 2021, being away from your kids, being away from your family. How do you ladies find the balance?
Well, I think all of our children are older. Sandy has the youngest kids, and I think like my kid is 20 years old, and so they're kind of on their way. And my son is in college, and then comes home on the weekends. And then Sandy has a younger daughter, and she's still like, picking them up from school, taking them to, running errands for them, and kind of caring for them that way. Where I just graduated from that because he drives himself and takes care of himself. Even though I have to, send him money and things like that, it's not the day to day. So honestly, I think if all of our kids were much younger, we wouldn't have the time to be as, involved in the Lake Sirens as we are. Because in addition to the Lake Sirens, every single one of us has a career that, Sharon owns her own company. She's a CEO of her own company. Shannon is an incredibly successful interior designer. I'm a professional singer-songwriter. Sandy's a casting director. Gina owns a restaurant. So those things, in addition to being married or being in a relationship, having children, not having children, we're all, across the board spread very thin. So the Lake Sirens, I think, came at a time where we could all kind of slightly take a little bit of a back seat to the day-to-day grind of raising really young children. Again, even though Sandy is a little bit still in that, she's still in the mom taxi mode, and the whole, that takes a lot of time and effort. But somehow she still figures it out. And I live in 2 states. A lot of us have different places. We're constantly traveling. It definitely is a balance. It's not like, you go away from your kid and you forget them. I mean, they're always like right here. And it's just like anything else. It's just like, I hate to compare children to animals, but it's kind of like fur babies, you can't just pick up and leave. You have responsibilities. And I think we all do our best to manage it and do the best we can.
We decided to be gentle with each other about our schedules.
Yeah.
We're sitting there trying to schedule something and we're like, oh my God, are we 7 weeks out until our next meeting?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like that and we just go, meh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll do it when we can do it.
Yeah. We're trying to have fun. We're trying to make this, a women supporting women, a supportive group where there's not so much stress attached to it that it feels like a job, or it feels like, oh, I got to do this again. I feel like we're all genuinely really excited to see each other, to be, to plan the photo sessions. Sandy is our fashion icon that she puts together our outfits, comes up with ideas. I mean, we all kind of do. Shannon has an interesting idea for our next one. We're all kind of together, but Sandy is the hammer, and she comes in and says, I don't like that color. This doesn't work. You have to change that. And we follow her because she's such an incredible casting director that we trust her eye and her intuition. So we are all really respectful of each other's roles inside the band, and we try to not have a leader. We try to make everybody equal, and if one person can't do something, it doesn't happen. So there's certain things we have to follow, that we try to make everything happy and inclusive and easy and fun.
I saw that Gina joined. Hi, Gina. And Mickey. Hi, Mickey.
Hi, Mick.
Hi.
And Mick says, you ladies are amazing, the Lake Sirens. And thank you, Mick, for setting up this interview. I'm feeling, because you guys know I'm a girl's girl, and I'm always about empowering women, no matter what walk of life. We all have a different story to share. And that is my thing, style. And it's funny you mentioned that, Shannon. Style, like I noticed that with a lot of girl groups, from the Spice Girls to the Pussycat Dolls to TLC. It's so many. Each woman in the group has their own individual style.
Yes.
And I know you said Sandy picks out the fashion and the wardrobe. Oh, I think Gina is trying to join. Let me add her.
Okay.
Oh,
Malibu,
maybe
Tammy.
Let's see if we can. I'll text Sandy.
Is it
That would
Malibu
be
Tammy?
cool.
Okay, let me add. Hopefully it works.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
We had
didn't
never
know.
done the live Instagram thing before.
Oh.
Oh.
Hi, Tammy. Hi,
Oh,
I didn't know you guys were gonna do that.
That's
I'm
our
so
dear
sorry,
friend
Stella.
Tammy. We beloved Tammy.
Welcome.
look
Well,
at your
welcome. I
sexy
guess
hair,
we
girlfriend.
can have one of the audience members join in with us in the questioning as well too. That would be nice. And that was going to be my question: is women as a girl group, like every woman has her own individual style within the group. So how do you ladies come together to decide, okay, I like this look, and I try not to look like the other girl in the group?
Yeah. Sharon kind of named it recently.
Oh, I did a little bit. Yeah, I mean, and I love the Spice Girls too. So we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I know we decided to sort of come up with names, and I think I was preppy. I'm a little more conservative.
I was vintage.
Vintage, yes, vintage.
Oh,
No, she always has the coolest. I mean, look at this jacket.
Oh, my
I
jacket
Who
know.
is
has
vintage.
these things?
Jacket.
Like, it's amazing.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And
I
Wendy,
didn't.
what
I
were
don't. I didn't get a name.
Yes, you were boho.
Boho.
Was I boho? Oh, okay. I'm boho Spice. I like anything from the '70s. That's me.
Yeah, for sure.
Sandy
and then
was sexy.
Sexy
Sexy
Sandy. Sexy Sandy. And then,
Yeah.
of course, Punker Gina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punker Gina.
Punker Gina.
I
So
thought
we're
it was
all-
goddess. I thought she was goddess.
Oh, was it? Well,
Whatever it was.
Goddess
Yeah.
or punk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's our punk goddess.
Yeah, punk
Oh, we
goddess.
lost Tammy.
And
She's gone.
that makes it even more amazing because you don't want to be the same. I mean, like with In Vogue, and I'm pretty sure you ladies have seen In Vogue. They always sing "Free Your Mind,"
I love
and every
Yeah.
woman has a black dress on in the group, but the black dress is styled differently.
Yes.
So I had to ask, even with that, because you know you're gonna have a clash of personalities. Has that ever happened with you ladies among yourself? Like, okay, I don't like this dress. I like this dress. I like this dress. Has that ever happened?
Excuse me. We're totally having this right now. That's like you read our minds. We're having this thing where we're gonna wear tights. Sandy found this fabulous reference, and we're all gonna wear tights. And I don't want the striped tights. I just don't want them, Stevie, because I know that it's gonna make my legs look like an actual funnel. And so I'm like, I don't want the striped tights.
I don't think anyone wants the striped
And
tights.
she's like, listen, you get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Yeah.
And I'm like, except I do get upset.
Yeah.
Because we're going to pull it out of the hat. We're just going to pull it out and we get what we get. And there's polka
Yeah.
dots too. And
Yeah.
that's terrifying. But
So luckily, I think it's a sitting down photo, so it might be okay. But we went through this before where she wanted us all in these crazy electric colors,
I've
and we knew that
seen
yellow
it.
was
Yeah.
one of the colors.
I got yellow.
And
This year I
Sharon got
yellow.
yellow. And luckily Sharon has incredibly beautiful legs.
So good.
And then like me, who I don't love my legs, I'm like, if you put me in yellow, I mean, there's no way I can pull that off. So we will definitely go through that and go like, oh, like I think Gina will say like, no, I want to wear this, I want to wear that. Like I think she pushes back the most as far as like what she wants to wear, and she'll just show up with what she wants, and then Sandy goes, okay, let's make this work. And you know, again, we all try to have fun with it, but it's hard to sometimes be stuck in something that doesn't feel like authentic to your personality. But then when you look back at the pictures and you go, well, she was right. Like that type picture, you know, we didn't spend any time, anything on that. We just like went to a staircase, took pictures, and it's like everybody's favorite
It's
picture.
an amazing picture, and
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to be. I was like,
No.
we're all going to look weird, and it looks
yeah.
incredible because it's about how you come together. So I
Yeah.
think that's a learning
Yeah.
process for us too. Is
Mhm.
like it's not about our individual exactly. It's about the group.
Yep.
How it looks all woven together with the different textures and the different styles, and what is that whole that is a compositional thing. So I will cave on the striped tights if I have to, but don't tell anyone I said that. It's a secret.
And that's what it's about. When I seen the picture, I was like, okay, this looks like fun. This looks like sisterhood. Because even with the Spice Girls, with every girl in the group having their personality, they still had fun behind the scenes at their photo shoots. And you ladies look like you had a ball at the photo shoots.
We do.
So what are photo shoots like at your photo shoots for the group?
What are they like?
Photo shoots.
Oh,
Stevie Bowie, like
the best.
Yeah.
The best. I mean, we went to a little local outdoor, because we live in the mountains up here behind LA, and there was this rustic restaurant. It's the steakhouse, and it's just like a setting of
Yeah.
this old collective stuff. And we had so much fun. And actually, we did drink a little bit when we were there, but we didn't come drunk. But we did drink when we were there.
Drunk, but
yeah.
yeah.
I know, because we were the people who had already hired other people. We weren't
Yes.
trying to get hired.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we had our photo people there, and our friend helping us tell us how we looked, how to, be our eyes.
Yeah, Lori
You know,
helped us.
to make sure that, we didn't have boobs hanging out and things were weird. And
Yeah.
so that was nice, and sit up straight.
Yeah.
I know I need that a lot. So it's always fun, and we support each other, and we'll tell each other the truth. I think we're always really transparent, and we come with kindness. So we know that it's always backed with something with kindness. So it's okay,
Yeah.
And it's a fun time. We have our mirror and our brush, and we do all this stuff.
It's like getting ready for the prom together.
It is. It's
like
so
the
fun.
dreamiest.
And we have, we're going to Nashville in April, and we're recording in Nashville. So we're doing like multiple photo sessions. We're doing a little video in the recording studio. I mean, this is a big job for Sandy, because she has to, we have to put these outfits together. We have to coordinate. I mean, it's a lot. We're going to have to be packing some big suitcases to go to Nashville, but we're going to have fun doing it.
When we went to New Orleans, we had the whole community helping. People were like sewing things for us.
Yeah.
People came and watched us and checked what we performed for them in our clubhouse of our community to make sure that we looked good and cool on stage, so that we didn't just like show up and suck. And so people were really responsive and helpful, and they gave us notes, and they sewed stuff, and they loaned us stuff. It was great.
It was great.
And that's another thing I meant to ask. What is the most memorable moment that you ladies have shared as a group together? And I know you all travel together, do things together, but what is the most memorable moment as a group that you ladies have shared and cherished?
I think it's probably different for all of us, but for me, watching these girls that had never stood in front of a microphone live in front of a very large audience, and also not in a recording studio environment, watching them from 2.5 years ago to where they are today, it's extraordinary. I don't even really have to think about much anymore in the studio, but going from day one to when I think we were on stage at Jazz Fest, when we all just looked at each other and were like, we can't believe we're up here together. Because a lot of the people in the Sirens have never sung before. So it was just like, oh my God, we're doing this. And we practiced so hard, and we knew how to stand and we knew how to move, but we weren't sure like if someone was going to run off or throw up or have an even worse experience, poop their pants or whatever it might be. And it's like, I kept thinking these are incredibly professional women who have all been in serious high pressure situations. So no one's going to run off. Nobody did. Everybody was up there. We had a great time. And I think for me, there were a couple moments where I had to really hold like my emotions back because I was like, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. I've been on those stages my whole life, like in front of 40,000, 50,000 people. And I've done these really high pressure situations, and they never have. Not like that. So it was just amazing to see us all come together in the outfits, with the hair, with the makeup, with the, the rehearsed steps, remembering our lyrics, remembering our cues. And like, I literally couldn't believe we had done it. So to me, that was the moment. But then we recently had a moment with our community that we performed for around the holidays, which was again another moment, because we had this in our Christmas song, we have a hallelujah breakdown, and there was a moment where I just looked at us and I was just like, we're pulling this off. Like, it's unbelievable. And everybody was clapping. And it was one of those moments again where I had to stop myself from like, ugly crying in the middle of a song. So it might be different for everybody else.
For sure.
Yeah.
Especially with so many people we know.
Yeah.
And just the response we got was so touching, and we were vulnerable and just did our best, and it was amazing, and the support was so incredible.
Yeah.
It's like in a way scarier to perform for a small group of people that you've known for years.
It is.
Because they're right there and they know you as one thing, and then here you are doing this other thing. So that really was super moving when we got an applause break in the middle of our song in our own community. It was really, really, really kind. And
New
lovely.
Year's Eve. Yeah.
New Year's Eve. And we wrote the song basically kind of inspired by this little lake that we live around. And so it was the whole thing coming to fruition and coming together. It was one of those moments.
And we were wearing multiples, which I love, but the ladies don't love. But we were wearing multiples. Sharon found us these furry jackets with a hood. And so we were the theme of the party. Sharon was one of the chairs with Gina. So the theme of the party was après ski. Après ski.
So we were in the Swiss Alps, with the pine trees and the snow and the fur coats and ski goggles, and so
fondue.
That was and fondue.
Fondue, Stevie.
It was really fun and very special.
And these are moments that you cherish as a group amazingly. Now, what's next in the chapter for the Lake Sirens? And before we get to that'll be final. But I want to know, what are the performances like before you ladies go on stage? Like, I know every performer has a ritual, like Prince, for example. I'm a big Prince fan. Prince had a ritual before he went on stage. And of course, Beyonce, I'm a big Beyonce fan as well, too. Every artist has a ritual that they go on. They either pray or they sit in their room. Miley Cyrus is another one. I think she does candles. Gaga is another one. They love candles. There's a ritual. So for each of you ladies in the group, what is a ritual that you ladies partake in before you hit the stage?
I have a mirror check-in. I have to look in a mirror and say, we're doing this, and what you're doing is giving other people an experience.
Yes.
Because if I lose track of that, it's my time right then to give other people an experience, and I'm worrying about something about myself, that is when I can have a performance that is not my favorite. So that's what I do.
And Shannon has done a lot of performing outside of the Lake Sirens too. So she was a comedic actress who did a lot of really cool live, like really intense live things that, like with me as a singer, give me choreography and it's a disaster. I can do, step touch and like rock dancing, but sometimes I'm having to do some really like, okay, on count 3, bend down and then come up slowly and then do this with it. And I'm like, ah! I'm just hoping that I can do it. Shannon has done so much of that because she has professional dancing background. And, I don't know if anybody else in the Sirens besides Shannon and myself have performed live before. So I think that they probably are starting their little rituals. I've never had a ritual other than making sure that my pants are on. That things are zipped up, or that I don't have something tucked into the back of my pants, or there's no toilet paper on my shoe or something like that. So that's kind of been my thing, is I try not to make it too big. I try not to make a big deal out of it, because it's sometimes just a day in, day out thing for me. I'm hired to professionally be there. Like, I'm hired to not skidge out or freak out or have a moment. I'm there just to be like, this is every day I'm driving a car. And that's kind of the experience that it is. And it doesn't matter who you're standing behind. There's so much weight to that. And if you give it a lot of weight, it can feel overwhelming. And so I think because I'm surrounded by other singers that are just like, eating spaghetti before we have to walk on stage, it's very different, I think, for artists like a Miley Cyrus or Beyonce, who have so much invested, and they're going to be critiqued from head to toe. Doesn't matter how good they are or bad they are, it's going to be just slathered with all different sides of responses. So I think with me, I have never carried that. So I really don't have a big ritual, and we've heard yours, and I don't know.
I don't.
Yeah, not
but
yet.
Stevie, now I might.
Yeah.
So thanks for mentioning it.
Yeah, it's a really good thing to do. Because it's like getting your teeth cleaned when you go do these jobs
Yes.
sometimes. It's really just like, okay, here we are, we're doing the job, and they want us in, they want us out. They don't want us to not feel well. They don't want us to have any kind of family emergency. They're paying you to show up, just like you're paying your electrician to come and fix your electrical job. So we're not really in a heightened awareness for me. But for Lake Sirens, it does feel different, because it's like, oh, this is a shared experience. This is all of us together. Sometimes, like on our last performance, we huddled and we were like, okay, we got this. And it's a very different thing than what I do for work. So if that answers it, that's a long answer. Sorry.
No,
It did
not
huddle.
at all. And what I love about you ladies is that you feed off of each other's energy.
Yes.
It's a sisterhood. It's just like with any other group. And
Yeah.
guy groups have their issues too, but they also have their rituals before they go on stage as well. So I had to ask, because every artist has a ritual before they go on stage to kind of get them pumped up before they go out, encouraged that, okay, everything, this is going to be a stellar performance. Because when you are putting on or giving a concert, as Shannon mentioned, you're there for those people, you're there for those artists,
Mm-hmm.
and it's important for those audience. I said not the artists, but the audience. And you're there for those audience members, and they are there to see you.
Yeah.
And then that exchange, that chemistry that you have with your audience, just giving an amazing show together. They're singing your songs. The anticipation is in the air. It's such a
Yeah.
great feeling.
Absolutely.
Now, recording, ladies, what is the recording sessions in the studio like for you ladies?
Wild. They're
Wild.
totally wild. We have the best time. We really do. The recording studio is absolutely gorgeous. It is Wendy's recording studio. She and her husband Chad own it, and it is absolutely stunning. And it's
Thank
really
you.
comfortable and home like, and we're comfortable there. So we start with a potluck, and I had to learn to cook about it because I didn't know how to cook, and so
I still don't.
I had to really work at it because there's some high level fabulous food making that goes on, and Sharon is unbelievable, and Sandy is fabulous, and Gina, of
Gina.
course, she owns a restaurant, she's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And so you got to bring something that's tasty, or it's just not going to get eaten, and you're going to die of the shame.
Oh,
So then we go upstairs after an amount of time, and we have this weird magic that goes on in the sirens where, because Wendy is so experienced, and because she is the person she is, when she says we can, we believe her. And we might have had no business believing her because there are notes that have come out of my body that have never come out of me ever before. Like things that I've sung that I never knew I could sing, styles, every single thing. And even just like the little stuff of learning how to use that microphone in the recording studio, we didn't know how to walk up and address that microphone. You don't know, don't touch the microphone until you learn that. You don't know, use the screen, don't use the screen. You don't know those things until you learn them. And so, very secretly, and without letting us know it was happening, Wendy was teaching us a ton of things, like 150,000 things. And so, we've been learning them, learning them, learning them. And now we're very comfortable in that recording environment. And so, it allows us to hoop and holler and cheer each other on, and just like someone has a good moment up there at that mic, and we're just screaming to the point where sometimes Wendy has to be like, "Don't scream during the tape."
Yes.
Because then I can't use that.
yeah.
Literally, I think on David Bowie, there's so much laughter and talking and encouragement going on in those vocal tracks. I kept a lot of them in because they were great performances, but you can hear people going, "Oh my God," or "Woohoo! Oh my gosh, she did it! Wow! Oh wow!" And it's all in that song. It's hilarious. So, and sometimes I'll go, "We're recording 1, 2." So we have to be quiet, but a lot of it is fun too. So sometimes we do party tracks and we say funny things and they're hidden in the songs. So yeah, it's fun.
So much encouragement. Everything ends with encouragement every single time.
Yeah.
So positive. It's uplifting. It's really magical. And yeah, I think that's the hardest part is actually being quiet. So lots of stuff.
And we
going
dance
on.
in there.
Yeah.
Oh man, we dance. We have so much fun. We have so many videos of just crazy dancing.
Maybe we could go live with you, Stevie, next time.
Yeah, you'll have to be in there with us.
I would love to. I would love to. And what I'm manifesting for the future for you ladies is a mega tour. I've seen so many, from New Kids on the Block to Backstreet to so many, all team up together and do mega tours together. But for this band here of women, I would love to see an all women world. Escape and SWV did it, where they've added other girl groups on it as well too. But what I would love to see is the Lake Sirens, maybe Wilson Phillips, maybe the Spice Girls, maybe TLC, maybe In Vogue, all of these mega power, just groups of women just all come together for one tour. That would be a tour I would definitely pay to see. So
Amazing
that was my
idea.
next question. Ladies, is touring in the works for you ladies in the future? Because I know in the summer months, of course, we've got Coachella. It's going to be a lot of music festivals coming up and right around the corner. So what is next in the chapter for the Lake Sirens?
I'm writing a list of demands for a high level of comfort. I want to stay in a really nice place when we tour. But we are going to Nashville. Our very next thing is Nashville. So we have like 5 days.
Yeah.
5 or
A
6
nice
days.
week in Nashville. So,
Yeah.
we set our intention for the beginning of the year. We met and we said, what are our goals this year? What do we want to do? And that's a really big goal. We're recording some new music and we're going to go to Nashville. And so we're really excited about that. And that's a big goal for us this year. So
Yeah, the touring thing is tough because you generally have to have a product and a company behind you that funds it, and you have to have so many record sales for tickets to be sold and all that stuff. So hopefully down the line that might work out for us and there might be an opportunity, for us to do it. But though, being on tour, you are funded by, generally a management or record company, or like with Taylor Swift, She
Yes.
would fund anyone who would come and open for her, and they pay all of their staff and travel and accommodations, food and everything like that. It's very, very expensive to tour. So it has to be worth everybody's time and interest, and it would be financially difficult for us to pull that off if we're not able to pull those people to buy tickets for the actual show. So right now we're just trying new things, and if something opened up to where we were able to jump on as an opening act for, a handful of shows somewhere, oh my gosh, I know we'd be there. So right now we self-fund everything, and we carve out the time we can to do it, and again, try to make it as much fun as possible. And who knows what's in the future?
Well, I'm manifesting this. I totally am. Because it's going to be the summer months, the months we're now heading in spring. We're in spring. Spring is here, it's arriving. Then summer will be here before you know it. So that means a lot of music festivals. So I
Yeah.
pray to see you ladies on stage opening for either Bananarama or
Ah.
Winston Phillips or the Spice Girls. I'm manifesting it because I know it's going to be a lot of concerts. And it's so funny you
Yeah.
mentioned Taylor Swift. Her tour was one of the biggest, along
Yeah.
with Beyonce's Renaissance tour. Those
Hmm.
two tours were two of the biggest tours ever. So if
Yeah.
she reaches out and says, "Hey, I want the Lake Sirens," that was my last question before we wrap. If Taylor Swift was to call right now and said, "Okay, ladies, I want you to open for me on this tour," what would
Yeah.
you ladies what would you ladies' reaction be to it?
I think we'd be in shock.
Yeah, all my demands would go out the window. We'd immediately say yes. Immediately,
At
100
any
times
cost.
yes.
Yeah,
1,000 times
yeah,
yes.
we would mortgage our houses and we'd be out there. But yeah, that would be incredibly huge. But yeah,
It would be amazing. I think it's like this incredible time when a large group of people are saying goodbye to ageism. They're saying
yeah,
goodbye to misogyny, goodbye to internalized misogyny, goodbye to believing that you can't do something because of this or that. You can do it. We're going to do it. And thank you for your help in manifesting it.
yeah. Thank you.
You are so welcome, ladies, and we're all fighting misogyny. So and then ageism is another thing. It's just like, oh well, my God, you're too old to do this. My thing is, you are never too old to follow your passion, and I tell people this all the time: do whatever sets your soul on fire. If it encourages other people, do it.
Yeah.
Go for it. And
Oh, we
Sandy
got
is
Sandy.
here.
Sandy showed up. We got Sandy on there. Hi, Sandy. Sandy's one of our sirens.
So, Sandy, if you would like to join before we wrap, come on, girl. We would love to have you. And she says you girls are amazing.
You too, Sandy. We were
Yeah,
talking
love
all
you,
about
Sandy.
you.
Welcome, welcome, Sandy. The ladies have spoken so much about you, and it is such a pleasure to have you here. Sandy is one of the Lake Sirens, and we're missing Gina.
Yeah.
So it would have been
You
five.
might have Gina. It's spelled DESGU
Yeah, Jew.
DSGUNA.
Yeah.
If you see that person on there, that's Gina.
She says, I don't know
Woo.
how I've been watching you. And Sandy, if you want to join, you can press that plus button and we will add you on. And I can split screen however we do it here. Oh, she's joining.
Ah, we got her.
Welcome, welcome as you're coming in, Fashion Doll.
Yay!
Can you see me?
Hey, girlfriend.
Hi.
I don't know. Can you see me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I have been watching you guys the whole time.
Oh,
Oh
hi.
my
I was on
gosh.
another account and I said, they don't know me from this account. So I just jumped over here.
That was smart. We were good
Oh,
mouthing you. You heard us good mouthing
I
you.
yeah.
did, and I missed part of it. I just didn't know that I could join, but yay.
Yay.
Hi.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, it is such a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the
Oh,
dollhouse.
oh my gosh. Thank you for having us. And you guys have been doing such a good job.
Well, thank you, Sam.
Stevie's been asking us really thoughtful and
Yeah.
thought-provoking
Yeah.
questions. And thank you, Stevie, because it helps us like root around in our souls and reconnect with what's so important about what we're doing with our friends and putting music in the world. It's a big responsibility.
And it's important. We were just when you and Sharon and Shannon and I, we were just talking about ageism. That is a thing in this business. They say of a woman's shelf life, they want you to be young and youthful forever,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's just like that's not in the cards. And
Mm-mm.
it's just like you can still go at any age. It's never too late for you to follow your passions. Go after it.
Oh, I so agree. And especially as a casting director, because the orders that I'm given from directors sometimes are pretty stunning. And then you see it every day with a leading man who's in his late 50s, and then the female lead is in her 20s. And you're like, what are we doing here? Another thing is that with music, you see artists that have been around for a long, long time that you've always loved and respected. Well, this is how I feel. And then they're wearing these, I mean, they're getting their faces done and then they're wearing these booty outfits. And I just don't feel like they have to do that, you know?
I got to
Try
put my
too
elbow
hard.
even.
Try too
I
hard to
know.
get the
I'm
part.
literally doing. I'm doing
wearing that right
exercises.
now.
I'm doing booty exercises so that I can wear hot pants. But Sandy may not let me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hot pants with pantyhose.
Yeah.
Mine will
And
be
we just
Spanx for sure.
Yeah.
welcome, welcome if you're just coming in. And Steph Johns says they don't have to do it. And right, I hate that. My thing is just be yourself. It's all about originality when it
That's
comes to
right.
music, when it comes to acting, when it comes to going to a casting call. Bring your personality to everything. And my
Yeah,
mom, she's always told me as well too, when you're doing an interview, what brings people to you, what attracts people to you is your personality, your charm,
right,
and you turn it on for them. You let them know that, hey, I'm here. I am able to do the work. I am capable to do the work. Your beauty, your talent, it all correlates together. And more importantly, no, regardless of whatever age, because I look at Michelle Yeoh, I look at who's another one, Kate Blanchett, I look at Reese Witherspoon, I look at all of these women, and it's just like, okay, they started off young in the business. Drew Barrymore is another one. Viola Davis. It's so many. It's like at every age, every woman continues on to do what they want to do in their career. And that's what it's about. So ageism, 50 where, 20 where,
right,
30 where. I'm 31, but it's just like, you know what? Even when I getting my 50s in age and up, I'm still going to be doing this. I'm still going to be encouraging people to just embrace that age, and for
right.
the industry to just get rid of the norms of you have to be this young to do this. And even for models, they some models start off at 14 or 16 years old, and you look at a cover of a magazine or something, and you wouldn't even know that wow, they were this young when they did this. And then as they grow older, one of my favorite supermodels is Christy Turlington, and I love Cindy
Mm.
Crawford as well too. um, and seeing them still going years later, and then their children pick up the legacy of what they've been doing. Like Cindy
Yeah.
Crawford has a daughter, and her daughter is walking in her footsteps,
Right.
walking runways of Fashion Week and so many things. So it just goes to show you that your age. You age gracefully. And my grandmother has a theory. She's 80, by the way, and she has the spirit of a 20-year-old. And she says this: women, we age gracefully. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like over time, we don't allow things to keep stressing us out. And we just keep going,
Right.
regardless of what the age is. Even with Sandy here working with in casting calls, directors, I've sat with actors on this platform, and actors will say, "Nah, I didn't get the role because I'm not young and youthful as the what they're looking for this specific character to play." And it's just like, come on,
Can
give
I
the
tell
person
you?
a chance.
Can I tell you about that? And I've been casting for 30 years now. And the saddest thing that I see is I'll put a breakdown out for someone, say a woman in her late 30s, and I'll get women in their 50s for that role, and they won't get it. And not only that, but why go for that? Why don't you walk into a room where you are exactly what we're looking for? And so
Yes.
there's so much AI, and there's so much, I mean, retouching has been around long before AI, and it's just a struggle because people walk in and they don't look like themselves. And what I tell people is, get yourself a headshot that shows you at as young as you could be. Get yourself a headshot that shows you as old as you could be too.
Mm.
It's not, you don't have to be afraid to be old. Just, if that role is for you, you should get it. And instead of, it's the same thing with, I had a girl walk in to audition, and she was much older than she looked in her
Right.
headshot. And on the way out the door, she somehow mentioned that she's been on Match.com for a long time and she's not getting any dates. Well, it's the same. You should be authentic and show who you are, and someone's going to love you.
Yes.
And, and Steph, I love what she just said it in the comments also. Yes, I like when to send selfies with a paper that says today.
Yeah, wait.
Right. Um,
You know why?
yeah.
Is it that someone that knows me because I make people do that all the
People
time?
hold
Oh, I
the
have to.
newspaper that says the date,
Oh, the
like a
date.
We have to.
Yeah.
hostage.
Oh,
We
wow.
have to. It's just the way that we have to do it. And with models, we used to book models from Z cards, but they don't look like that. So I mean, I don't know when they do, because you look at it, high glamour edited photography. And so we always have models stand there in a little, tank top with the date, because it's the only way. Because if not, what is the game we're playing? We have a
Yeah.
job to do.
Right. And even with that, and it goes back to what Cindy just said, which is okay, even in the industry, but like I look at a lot of beauty magazines. We see perfection on the cover. We see
Hmm.
beauty. We see all of these things. And it's just like it puts pressure on the average woman in real life, the average mother at home to be like, okay,
Yeah, it
I
does.
have to look like this. Because, and even you go to Vogue or any other high fashion or beauty publication, and we look at the model on the cover, airbrushed, as Sandy just said, airbrushed, retouched to perfection. And we're just like, oh my God, does she actually look like this? And
No.
sometimes when we're going to the hair salon or wherever, it puts pressure on the stylist because it's just like, make me look like this. And the stylist in the back of their mind is saying, you want to look like the woman exactly on the cover. You want to be her. So it's just like, take in your own self love,
Oh, yeah.
love yourself at every age, love every flaw, love every perfection. And that would be advice that I would give to any woman that is watching my platform. And that is something
Right.
that I've made a living, thriving off of this platform on, is making sure that women feel encouraged at every single age.
I love
My mom is
that.
50. My mom
It's
is in her 50s.
beautiful.
And I, I want to live to be able to do this show. I should be telling this information, but it's crazy when guys ask a woman her age. But if you're her daughter, then it's different. But I say my mom is in her 20s, and she's in her 50s, and she could pass easily to be my sister because we look so much alike. She's so
Wow.
young, she's so youthful, she's fiery. And that same energy, she's a Libra, by the way, I'm a Scorpio. So we feed off of each other's energy. And what I love about my mom is that she doesn't let anything hold her down, regardless of whatever age. And with her being a grandmother, like I said, my nephew, me being an aunt, regardless of whatever age we are, we still try to have fun. And I just recently had a conversation with one of my guests, Christina, and we were talking about how we had to tap into our inner child and how much it's never too late to have fun at every age. And go after that acting role. Like I said, I've sat with so many actors here on this platform, and they have told me stories about going behind the scenes to a casting call and then being turned away because, hey, you're not what we're looking for, or you're too old, there's an age limit, they want it to be a certain age. And I say, never give up. Don't feel bad because you didn't get the role there because you're not what they're looking for, when there are people out here who will write roles for every single age.
Hmm.
And I can think of people who are ladies who are still aging gracefully. Helen Mirren is one of my favorite actresses. And
Hmm.
Yeah.
what I love about her is that she is still going, regardless of any age.
Oh,
Betty
yeah.
White was another one. I'm a big Golden Girls fan. I
Me
love
too.
Sex in the City. I love Girlfriends, Living Single. I love
Oh,
them
me
all.
too.
But But Betty White, what I love about her was she started off very young, but we see her age gracefully from doing the Golden Girls and Hot in Cleveland. And what I loved about Hot in Cleveland is that you had women of every single age on that show. Valerie
Yeah.
Bertinelli was on the show as well too. So it's shows like that that showcase women in real life. Like, hey, you can be in every age group. Even in our family, there's a different age group, and they show like, hey, this is what your 20s look like, this is what your 30s look like, this is what your 40s look like.
Yeah.
Age gracefully and enjoy
Yeah.
it.
So
And
what
that's what
about
I was.
let's talk about Pamela Anderson. I mean, she was so stunning with her no makeup.
Mm.
That's an inspiration right there.
Yeah.
I
When I
mean,
seen
I love
her in
it all. I love the glammed up stuff. I mean, I
Yeah.
think
I'm not
I
great.
love the glammed up for retouched. You know, when I was a young actress, my photos were retouched, and also your cast, so they've seen you, so they picked you from your looks, then your retouched headshot, then you go in for your makeup test, and they do their makeup on you, and then they have a filter and the cinematographer, and then in editing, you're edited further. So there is definitely a piece that we need to fill of like education to all of the everyone that people there is a glam kind of version of us, and then there's also our real authentic selves, and we're walking around as ourselves. It's so funny when we feel self-conscious because I walk around looking like this, so it's so funny when I'm like, I don't like that picture, I don't like that video, I look like that, you guys all saw me looking like that.
She looks
What am I
gorgeous no
freaking
matter
out about?
what.
You
Hello.
saw me looking like that. Yet
Totally.
somehow I'm like that. No, I don't want that in. Well, of course it's going in the world because I look like that. It's so funny how we are. But I think there's an education piece that these are two different things.
yes,
The cover of a magazine and the people. You know, that's a glamour fun.
Yeah, it's fun to
It's
do
fun.
that. It's fun to like, edit
Yeah.
photos and change color of the way things look. And I mean, I love editing photos so much. Just,
You're the
just
best
changing
at
the
it.
color of a room. And yeah, I mean, we definitely have had some unedited photos that have been out there, that got put out in whatever, magazine or anything on our Instagrams where we're joking around and laughing. And like, there's a lot of video context that we can't, slim ourselves down or take all the wrinkles off our faces.
right.
And it is us. And it's really the side of us that is really honest. But then if we put out a promotional photo, we definitely want to look our best, and we want our hair to look good and our nails and our lipstick, and because we're girls, and it's like that's part of us, that's part that we enjoy. But yeah, I mean, I could never be as brave as Pamela Anderson, but I don't look like Pamela Anderson either. So if I did look
Stop
like
it.
Pamela Anderson, I'd be
Cut it out.
naked all day long staring in a mirror, and I'd have no makeup on and still be naked standing in the mirror and adoring myself. So that's how that goes. But I think we all feel the way we feel about ourselves. But yeah, I don't think Pamela Anderson needs a stitch of anything.
And she looks amazing. Like when I
She's
see
Yes.
Yeah.
her at
stunning.
the photos of her at Paris Fashion Week,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I think in Harper's
Oh,
Bazaar, and to see her, Drew Barrymore, and Valerie Bertinelli, and then an audience full of women who were just makeup free. I remember I did one makeup free show, and that was when I had my co-host on because I overslept. I'm always coming on, hair, makeup, nails to the nines, everything.
yeah.
And my male co-host, he was just like, okay, she's probably overslept. And I said, oh my God. So I said, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I'm gonna do it one time. And I did it back in 2021 because how we're doing things now, everything was virtually. But I came on with just a onesie and a fresh face of no makeup.
Yeah.
No makeup. And I said, I'm gonna do this one time for you,
Good for you.
EJ. So
Wonderful.
EJ,
That's
I'm gonna do
so
it for you
good.
one time. And everybody was like, oh my God, you look so completely different, but I still look the same. The same way as I wake up with no makeup on is
Yeah.
the same way I look without it.
I saw
So, I
Good for
mean,
Julia
you.
Roberts with no makeup on at a restaurant, and it was like this. I went, "Oh, Julia Roberts," and then I went, "Wait, is that Julia Roberts?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that's Julia Roberts." She's a, we look like ourselves, even when we have lipstick or whatever, and we take that
Yeah.
off. we do look like ourselves. So it's a funny thing. It's just kind of like another way to be creative, I think, to play
Yeah.
around with makeup and hair and nails and
And
fashion
clothes.
and
Yeah.
and filters and editing and all that stuff is just more layers of creativity and art.
Yeah.
Glamour. Glamour.
And that's
Fun.
exactly what it's about. You're putting on that character. You're putting on the Lake Sirens. I'm putting on Miss Stevie. I'm still Miss Stevie, but I just don't have on makeup in that period. And even if for the mothers out there who have kids, they were like, "Mommy, you look different without your makeup. You don't have because I don't have my makeup on, or I don't have this on." So I mean, we people still recognize us, and that's the beauty of it. You know,
Yeah.
makeup is supposed to enhance your natural beauty
Yeah.
and go along, make it look glamorous, make it look beautiful. And for Pam Anderson to do this, it's liberating. And
Yeah.
I think a
Hmm.
lot of women are going to start doing
Oh
have
yeah.
started doing the no makeup trend where it says, okay, I'm home, I'm off the clock. And even with Julia Roberts, I'm not on the clock. I'm not Pretty Woman. I'm not, what's another one of my favorite Julia Roberts films? Runaway Bride. I'm not the Runaway Bride today. I am Julia. I'm just me. I'm in my skin. I'm comfortable. I love me.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
think a lot of women, we have to start doing that. And I think Steph just said it best in the comments. I look in the mirror every day and I tell myself I'm beautiful. I love myself. My mom is a perfectionist, however, and I've had to reassure her. I say, "You've brought me into this world, and people call me beautiful. I get it all the time. Oh my God, you're so gorgeous, so beautiful." I get it from my mother. And she just like, I got a frown line here. I got a wrinkle here. Oh my God, I hate these veins, all of these things. And it's just like, just live and enjoy it. Smile,
Hmm.
live, laugh. Because if you laugh longer, you live longer. And that's my mantra is to bring
Hmm.
joy to people and make them feel good about themselves. Because we live in a society where everything is about perfection. We're
Right.
about beauty. We're about making sure that we are beautiful. We're women. So it's natural, it's easy to us because we're in the public eye. You ladies sing, I host this platform, and even with me, some of the guys that I've interviewed on this platform is like she never stays the same. I like to call myself a chameleon because I'm always changing. Hair colors, I've done green, I've done red, I've done blonde, I've done black, I've had it all. I'm like I'm a woman. These are things that women do. We always change our look. We find something and we're just like, okay, maybe I want to have short hair today. Maybe I want to have long hair. Maybe I want to have blonde hair. But I'm always evolving. And my mother is the same way. She'll find something out and she'll pick it out. And a lot of women, we do that in the mirror. We'll pick something out like, oh my God, I hate these crow's feet. I hate these veins at the bottom. All of these things. I hate this cellulite under my arms. All of these things, we pick it out and we point it out to ourselves. But I say just embrace it. And another example, Sandy, that I've seen, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it too, is and I'm pretty sure all of you, Shannon, Sharon, Wendy, the Victoria's Secret fashion shows. Back in the day, it would be a lot of pressure on average women who are mothers. And it's just like these girls look gorgeous walking out with these humongous wings on. My body, I'm aging, all of these things. I just had a baby. And it puts a lot of pressure on the mothers at
Well,
home to bounce back quickly, to look exactly like that.
right. And then we're looking at teenagers. You know, if people really knew, those girls are teenagers. So it's impossible to, compete with a teenage supermodel who is 5'10" and 110 pounds. I mean, you just can't. So, do you remember back when um, celebrities and supermodels were not on the covers? It was just like a model.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then everything changed, everything really changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of our celebrities are size inclusive, I feel like. I mean, we have a lot of celebrities out there that are all different sizes, and we have a lot of celebrities of all different ages, like you were saying, Stevie. And I value that, and I think that that's a really
Yes.
important thing for those creating our entertainment to hear that we value that. We love to see a cast that has, like you said, Sunny in Philadelphia. You loved seeing women of all ages. You said, I love that too. I want to see all ages represented. I think that's important for creators of of things to know. We want to see an action movie with remember how popular Terminator was? I don't know why, but we all thought she was so old in that movie. Oh my God, she looked amazing. And she wasn't so old, but we thought that because she was over 40 or something.
Yeah.
But hopefully now we're in a world that can be a little more gentle and a little more inclusive and show us people of all ages. We want to see it.
Yeah.
And backgrounds and body types,
Yes.
because I know when as women, when we age, when we grow into our bodies, especially if you just had kids or whatever, it's just like it's a lot of pressure on you. I gotta bounce back. I gotta bounce back. I have to look like the Victoria's Secret models or J-Lo. And we look at pictures of J-Lo on the red carpet, and she's wearing these gowns and her
She's
back is out, and it's just like,
That's an
how does she
alien
do it?
she's
person.
But these,
magnificent.
they
Yeah.
stay in the gym consistently, and it's just like, okay, I'm sitting here eating my pepperoni pizza, and I'm scrolling through, and I'm looking at a picture of J Lo, and I'm just like, I'll never look like that. But
I think there's room
I,
for all of it, for
Mhm.
all of us. There can
I,
be the J-Los and there can be all the sizes and there can be
Yeah.
all the body types and there can be all the backgrounds and there can be all the,
yeah,
all the different languages and every single thing. I think there's room for all of it, and that's the world we're in. It's just convincing the people who are putting the money out there, the investment out there to get these things made. They're unsure. They're like, but are they really going to come and see it? And the answer is yes, we are. We're going to
Yeah.
see it. We're going to eat it up. We love it. There's room for all of it. Include all of it.
And it's really tough too. I know somebody that knows J Lo very, very well, and I just think she's the most beautiful thing in the world. And I think she's super talented. I sang on one of her records. She's just really talented in so many aspects. But I was so curious about that, and I hate to spill this because I was like, okay, you have to tell me. Like, does she not eat? Does she just work out 24/7? Is it yoga for 2 hours, Pilates for 2 hours, cardio for 2 hours, and then like a micro, lettuce salad or something? And he was like, no, she eats cheeseburgers and French fries, and
oh,
she
I
works
love
out
it.
minimally, like 3 days a week. She works really hard. She has a personal trainer. She works really hard, but she lives. She loves chocolate. She eats ice cream, drinks Diet Coke. I was just like,
Wow.
so genetics are like a very big part of why some people look the way they
Yeah.
do. And, we have to remember that. So she was just blessed with this like ageless, unbelievable figure. And I don't think that's going to change for her anytime soon. But I felt so much more human when I found out that I think a lot of people do have to starve, and a lot of people do have to religiously live in a gym, I mean, believe me, just to lose weight is so hard. It is a full-time job for me personally. Like, I got to get my water. I have to walk this many miles. I have to go to Pilates. I can't eat this because it only follows this amount of points I have to follow during the day. And then 3 months later, I've lost 0.2 pounds. I'm just like, I wasn't blessed with being able to just chomp down cheeseburgers and not see it on my body. But from a personal friend who personally knows her very well, she is able to.
Oh, she's magic.
She's a magic unicorn.
Right?
And I love it.
Yeah.
And that's what's so amazing, is that she's human. As
Yeah.
when you said, she's human, and these are things that we do during our leisure time. We're flipping and we're looking at these things that we're eating, and it's like, oh my God, I need to change something about myself. Love it and embrace it. And one thing I love about Jennifer is that she is confident. She's a woman who's confident and inspires other
No
women
joke.
to be confident as well
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Another who I thought has an amazing body, of course, Beyonce. I'm just like, you have
Oh,
four
perfect.
children, 3 children, 4 children, I think Beyonce has.
Yep.
And it's just like, you go out on stage and watching her and her
Yeah.
perseverance on stage to still give an hour-long show,
Yeah.
and she's dancing in heels,
She's
which I know you
dancing
ladies do on
and oh
stage as well
God, she's
too,
amazing.
non-stop. And I'm seeing people like, wow, she takes you to a whole nother planet from her performances, because for hours you're sitting while everybody else is sitting and dancing. You have to take a break and catch your breath. Everybody else is still standing and somewhat semi dancing or whatever, but that's the
Yeah.
energy that she has. And
Yeah.
she's another one who likes everything to be perfection. Beyonce is a perfectionist.
Yeah.
And every concert, every performance, we've seen this woman rise on the top of the pedestal and heels and sing the highest note. I mean, it's just like she's superhuman. And
Yeah.
someone says you don't look her in the eyes. It takes away her power, but you don't look her in the
Mhm.
eyes directly. But she just keeps going. Her perseverance. J Lo is another one, and they dance incredibly. These girls dance incredibly. I'm just like, I don't see how. I
I don't
think my
know.
mistake right here in this hosting spot. Hats off to Beyonce, Taylor, and J Lo, because I can't do it for. You're giving an audience a show for doggone near 2 hours. They're there to see you perform all of their favorite songs,
Yeah.
and you're having to go backstage and get touched up and then come back rejuvenated again. So I don't see how these women do it. And that was my last question for you ladies each is, how do you ladies keep going during your performances, during your tours, everything?
Well, first, we're terrified. So
So fear
the
drug.
adrenaline helps.
I mean,
It's a lot. It's a lot because as a performer, as an artist, the audience are expecting you to give them their money's worth. They want to see you perform. They want to see you dance, and they know the routines like the back of their hand. So that helps even more. They know the lyrics to the song also too, and you're handing the microphone out to them for them to sing. But that's a blessing, and I must say, when you are performing, these are things that it takes to make a great performer. You have to make sure the stage presence is key, that those audience are there entertained, they're there to see you, they're happy, they're engaged, and just that chemistry of you singing back and forth. Or
Hmm.
I've seen Rihanna do it as well too, where she would literally hand a fan the microphone, and the fan would know the song, and they would blow her away. She'd be like, how did you know the next lyric to my song? I wrote this song, so how did you know it? Word for word. And they would let them finish off the song. So it's just that feeling of being able to tour at any age. And another one of my favorite female singers who I love to give props to, and I think we all love her, is Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah,
mm,
And
yeah.
to see this
definitely.
woman still go on at any age. I remember watching her older performances when she first started. And now seeing her now still perform, still record, still make music. It's just like it's never too late to go after your passion of performing. If this is what you want to do, you have a song in your voice, sing that song, and don't let
Yeah.
anybody tell you
Mm.
that you're too old, you're too young to do this, or you're too young. Sing. If
Yeah.
singing is something you want to do, get it out.
If you sing it
Absolutely.
if you're going to sing it 3 times, you got to sing it what 30 times, so that you're conditioned to sing the 3 times well, right? But we haven't really we haven't. That's not been our experience yet. We haven't had to do that yet. But we're going to work up our conditioning. We're going to do it, Stevie. We're going to be ready when we have a big
When
long marathon.
Taylor calls, yes, that was
Yes.
Yeah,
something that we were
right. Because
We're
saying.
manifest.
the call. Yeah.
Thank
That was
you.
something we were saying, Sandy, is that I was manifesting something big for you ladies all. And I've talked about so many girl groups here on my show. I've interviewed Shades last year, was a girl group, and it's four of them. And with having a camaraderie of women, five women, I would love to see the Spice Girls on a tour with the Lake Sirens. I would like to see Wilson and Phillips,
Oh
Bananarama,
yeah,
In Vogue, TLC. I mean, I could go on.
yes,
Maybe
yes.
Beyonce can get, because I've seen them unite at Michelle's Broadway show, get Destiny's Child together. I would love to see all of the mega girl groups on a tour together, and that would be a
Oh,
tour that I would definitely go to. I would pay my
definitely.
money to.
All right. I love that thought. I'm going to hold that too. So thank you.
Yes, and I've seen it happen before where Other groups would open for other groups, like NSYNC opened for, I think, TLC, their fan mail tour. So, I mean, it could happen. I could see it, and I'm manifesting it for you ladies.
I love
Well,
it. Thank
thank you.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are so welcome. So, before we wrap, this was such a fabulous discussion, and I had such a dynamic time with you ladies. And Mick, thank you so much for setting this up. And I would love to have y'all ladies back on again because I know it's big things that are coming.
Oh,
What
we'd love it.
gems
Thank you,
or words of
Stevie.
Thank you,
encouragement?
Stevie. Thank you so much. And
Thank
thanks,
you.
Wendy.
Maybe
So
we can
much
take a
fun.
screenshot.
Yeah, take a screenshot.
I'm
That would be
moving the
fun.
camera. Camera's moving. Camera on the move. Camera on the move.
Thank you, Kate.
Camera.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Ready? Screenshot. Get in here, ladies. How are we gonna do it? Oh, Sharon, if you press that and Wendy, you press that, it'll
Okay.
work. But we gotta get further away. Okay.
And 1, 2, 3.
Yes, we did it,
You
Stevie.
guys
We
are
did it. Bye,
cute.
Sans.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your thoughtful questions. This was so much
So
fun.
You are
great.
so welcome, ladies. Thank y'all all so much. And words of encouragement, words of encouragement that I want to leave you all with, fashion dolls, before we wrap, is today's thought comes from Louisa May Alcott. She wrote Little Women,
Mhm.
and her final thought says that I'm not afraid of storms, for I'm learning how to sail my ship. And as it
Oh,
pertains to everything, uh, I want you all to continue on with your
oh,
endeavors.
yeah.
Never realize it is too late to never go after your passions at any age. I started Style by Stevie right after high school, and
Wow.
I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Now, 31 years of living, I'm an aunt now. I'm a host of this platform. I'm a daughter. I have family. I want people to live, and someone said it in the comments. I want you all to live, love, laugh, and more importantly, do what sets your soul on fire. So if you got a song in your voice, let that song be heard. Because the loudest song in the world can make an impact and impact everybody, fashion dolls. So I
True.
want you all to take that away.
Oh,
And without further ado,
Yay.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Thank you,
thank you.
Stevie.
you
Thank you to
ladies are
all who
so
came.
welcome.
Thank you.
Take care,
Well,
ladies, and
thank you so
let
much.
everyone take
Bye.
care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.